Alright, I'm going to show you, what it's like to be a Gentoo user, I guess, some of the problems and issues that I have and go through. So, first things first, let's go to the third window. What we're going to do is we're going to open up Bracero. This is the i3wm Windows Manager, i3 Windows Manager, i3wm. We're going to open up a video project and try to add an MP4. So we get an error. Alright, so let's open up this file in the terminal, this program in the terminal. Let's do it again, and this way we can see what the problem is, hopefully. So right here, send message. So glib object. So what I did, yesterday was recompile Bracero, which didn't work. Actually, that was done after I recompiled the files and the dependency graph that eQuery displays. So let's use eQuery, and we'll figure out what Bracero's uses are. So you can see that it doesn't have anything relating to x264, x265, MPEG, any multimedia codec, DVD or FFmpeg, libav, etc. So what I did was I used depgraph. So you can see right here, if you use eQuery, which is part of the Gentoo toolkit, you can install that with emerge AV Gen toolkit. But eQuery shows, G. Where's G at? Here, depgraph. It displays a tree of all the dependencies for the package. So these are all the dependencies. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the no color option. So here's another thing, like it takes the color out of the output, but if you don't do that, let's see. This is exactly what you're going to get. Let's see, temp.text. And you'll see that there's garbage at the beginning and the ends of the lines, and that'll come into play here. So what I want to do is, with the G command, with the depgraph flag for eQuery, passing to eQuery, it doesn't give you the use flags for each package that Bracero pulls in as a dependency. So I mean, what I would like to do would be write a little script, a one-liner for package in. Let's do this really quick. We're gonna actually, before we push that to 4, we're gonna pass this to awk, and we're going to printnf. Yeah, no print. Okay. So I want to get rid of this first line right here. So what I can do is there we go. Alright, so I'll just grep for lines, since this line doesn't have the little square brackets. What we'll do is we'll start the line with anything that starts with a space, and then now we've rid ourselves of that top line with the colon. Could have just maybe G sub the colon, but it's a redundant line. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna write a little one-liner, and we're going to pass this is the dependency graph. We're going to pass that every package name right here to eQuery uses. So we'll do e package. But what's going to happen is we're going to get garbage. So usually you'd be able to do something like this, on Debian or whatever, CentOS, and, not encounter this type of issue. Emerge, as beautiful as Emerge is, there are little things like this. I think what makes it so beautiful, the output of emerge portage, is the color. So like when you update world, it's such a beautiful sight. But in order to circumvent that, what you're going to do is pass it the no color flag, and that'll do it. So now you can see exactly the use flags, for all of the dependencies for Bracero. So let this run. Yesterday, what I noticed was there's, let's see, the package that I'm looking for is GST plugins meta. So GST plugins meta didn't have DVD or FFmpeg enabled, so I enabled those. I passed the flags over to, I pushed it into the package used directory inside of Etsy Portage, and compiled. It fixed the issue, but then I ran into another issue after I uninstalled just to make a video, a demonstration video of how the problem was fixed, just to show people what you go through as a Gentoo user at times. But so what I've decided to do was let's see, CDR. So what I've decided, package kit base. So this might be another. I might have to introspection. That's a thing. I think that's actually what the cause is. So I'm looking for introspection that's not enabled. So that command is a part of introspection. I'm pretty sure that error is coming from introspection. So let's see. Okay, now introspection is enabled across the board for all of the dependencies. Let's see. So we'll go back here. All right, so the error, right? Send messages. So this is gObject. Set is valid property. So let's see, introspection. Okay. So introspection is where's Bracero? So where is introspection itself? Let's look for introspection. So we'll look at the legend. There's good, utils, package config. Where's introspection itself? There we go. So this is one of the commands. This is a package here. So I'm trying to figure out and backtrace exactly how I figured out it was introspection. See, so what I did here was I got the package name. Let's see. I have to write a bunch of, to write a script. Where are you? So I'm looking for a command, EIX introspection, gObject. Oh, yeah, that's right. Okay, so this is how, this is what led me to the conclusion that introspection for Bracero, introspection, the use flag, was problematic. Well, it's just a guess, a hunch, but so this is gObject right here, GDK, gObject, glib gObject warning for Bracero. So if we go back to the first screen, right? Oh, we're at the first screen, at the first window. We'll do EIX. So we have gObject introspection, gObject introspection. So things are starting to kind of tie together here. So, that error is gObject. The only relevant package, correlative package, is introspection. So we have gObject introspection common and gObject introspection. So what I decided to do was run through the gObject introspection package, and you can see I passed it along to the find command. Every file that it lists And then I need to do more than that. So I'm looking for PY files. I also need C files. So I need C and possibly header files too. So we'll look for .h and hopefully what am I missing here? My name, type F. So let's just make sure. Okay, so I'm probably doing that wrong. I probably need to link it with -o. Yeah, okay. So let's do this. There we go. Yeah, C files. Okay, this is exactly what we're looking for. So instead of print, let's pass it to exec egrep color HIN, and it was send messages. I'm using a period, a dot instead of a dash. You know, the dot character when running search or when using regex, it'll account for a single character, and that will substitute the dash. So I don't want to run it with the dash character and escape it. I'll use the dot just in case there's another one that's underscore or whatever. Let's run that. Let's see what we get. So we're going to search all of the C files, the Python scripts, the header files inside of the path directories of whatever this returns. So we're going to see. Might take a while. The find command usually tends to be very fast, but this right here is going to run for every file in here. So it might be a little slow, but ultimately what I could have done, and what I'm probably going to end up doing is, let's go back over here. So we can do eQuery uses Bracero, and you can see introspection. I'm probably just going to take that out. I can do a sudo, we'll pass a use flag on the fly, minus introspection, merge AV, and we'll just remove the introspection flag. Let's see where our little command is at. So what I'm looking for is send messages in all lowercase with a dash in between the two words, ideally, but that might not show. I understand that. There might be a file that's outside of the scope that I'm searching for, meaning a file other than a header file, a C file, or a Python PY file. It could be some kind of maybe CMake file or some other weird type of file. But since it's G-object, I would be willing to bet that it's a C file. Don't see anything so far though. That could very well be a generated message that's not hard-coded, It could be the error that the system outputs, and they could just be using some kind of, like in Python, where you do like a try except, and then the except, you pass it like, no package found as error, and that generates an error when you pass it to printf that you don't necessarily hard code. It's just a part of the Python framework, make sure I didn't miss anything. So let's see. Let's go up to the top. Okay. Nothing so far. So that's what I'm thinking that it could be. Introspection. So this error. It's a warning, set property. That's what I'm thinking. No, this is being passed. So this definitely has to be, you know, in a file somewhere. And that is not a system generated. It is, you know, it's generated, you know, system generated, but like I said, this is something that's being passed in a program somewhere. So, you know, you can tell. I just, you know, can't explain why. It's just the years of experience. Let's see. Let's see what else we have. Well, let's mark this and give it a second. Oh, we've got some, quite some. Okay. Nothing. Alright. So I guess what I'll end up doing, what I'm going to do actually, is just hit OK in this and then recompile without introspection. Yellow. And after it compiles, I guess what we'll do is just try to open up, you know, Bracero and then see if we can, you know, open up another DVD project. It shouldn't take long. Let's see. Right, so there, DMA, where the heck is introspection? Where's that message? 1 second here. Okay. Alright, so existing preserved libs. libva. Man. Preserve rebuilds. Alright. i3wm. Alright, so let's see where this is at. Still going strong, huh? Where the heck? Really, dude? Couldn't have went that far. So. Okay. Not a single freaking dash. Huh. Alright. Well, let's see. Go to the third one. Ooh, FFmpeg. That's going to be rebuilt. OpenCV will be rebuilt as well. Alright. Let's see, are there any changes? No. Or just a rebuild. Okay, with different libraries. Alright, let's see. Let's open up another session. And no introspection. So let's see. And still no dice. What a pain. What a freaking pain. That's glib gobject. The whole freaking everything is built with introspection. So maybe I should remove introspection from... Introspection is problematic, man. This whole freaking... I wish GTK wasn't so heavily utilized in desktop environments. Maybe, you know, we could see more of Qt. Even though I'm not using a desktop environment, I'm using a tiling Windows manager, i3wm, I still have to pull in, you know, GTK as a dependency for certain things. Like, I like the LX terminal. I'm pretty sure this uses... Ooh, that's not good. eQuery uses LX terminal. GTK3. What a freaking pain. Man. That's all I have for this video right now. I mean, it's eventually going to be solved, but it's just a matter of when. You know, I have to research and see if I can remove introspection safely. You know, I can do what I did initially when we first started this video, you know, to pass all of the dependencies for Bracero into like a little for loop and recompile everything without introspection, or you know, I can throw it into my makeconf and just, you know, do dash introspection into the use flags and then just recompile the system. You know, recompile world, update world with new use. That's another option. But I don't want to do, you know, that yeah, maybe just Bracero. Yeah, you know what? Bracero relies heavily on, you know, gobject, GTK stuff, so GDK and all that good stuff. I think that if I were to do that, I'd probably have to do it to the whole system. So, you know, let me check the make file real fast. sudo vim, let's see, portage, make conf. Let's see. Let's see if introspection, a wrong password. So, yeah, don't like systemd, not a fan at all. Okay. 95. X, JPEG, PNG, GIF, or GIF, whatever you prefer. GIF, pulse audio curl, no introspection though, GTK3. I think I added that after the issue with the LX terminal. I should remove that and recompile. No. Might break some stuff. Never mind. Well, like I said, that's it. So, wow. So much. So many freaking files. Hope you enjoyed. These are the problems, like I said, that I go through as a Gentoo user. I'm not sure what everyone else does. I guess it depends on how heavily you utilize your system, you know, what you're using, what you're doing. I use this mainly for development. Like the last project I took on was learning how to create VLANs through policy routing. So you would create, you know, so it would be something like this. So let's cat out Etsy, IP route 2, and then RT tables. I added VPN chain. So in this system, I don't think my kernel is. I roll my own. I don't use Gentoo's kernel. I rolled the latest, but the kernel's not compiled, you know, for support for this kind of thing for policy routing. But let's see. So it would be, you have the IP rule, and you can do an IP rule add, you know, like a forward mark, table VPN chain, but that's probably not gonna, oh yeah, 200. So you don't need sudo. IP route, show table, VPN chain. So yeah, that's not, doesn't seem to be present there. But what you would do is you could add, like, you can route, just do route. You can essentially mirror and mimic your entire network routing, and you can create like a separate virtual network through a different table. And then with IP tables, you can tag packets. So like, let's say in the Mangle table, right? You're marking, you know, locally generated packets, output, TCP protocol. I'll do jmark. Oops, and set mark 200. So if you were to do something like, you know, so with Mangle and output, I think you can use that's not the input, you can use the output and say anything going out ETH0, and let's say like des port, destination port, D port, I'm making something up, like 446 or something. You can mark all of those packets 200 with a 200 marker, and the rule will show that, you know, anything with 200, you're gonna forward that mark to the VPN, you know, the VPN chain table, and that essentially will route everything out, you know, that secondary virtual network, which we'll just call a LAN. But you know, I do stuff like this, you know, programming. So like I said, it just depends on what you do, you know, what you use it for. So like I said, hope you enjoyed. I definitely had fun making this.